MAGNUS is actually an Israeli-based search and rescue company that was founded over 30 years ago. In Israel, it is a known fact that after the military service, most young people go to travel around the world for about 6 to 12 months. The company was founded by MAGNUS, the founder. We call him in Israel the man in the beard. He was actually the founding father of the concept of searching and rescuing for Israeli travelers around the world. The company has sent rescue teams to areas of natural disaster, including the earthquake in Nepal in 2015 and the tsunami back in 2004 in the Far East, and to very high altitude as well, including a rescue mission from the Bar-Eyal mountain that rises to around 6,000 meters. Today, we operate over 1,000 search and rescue missions each year. The company has 5 main departments that all together work with our control center that is based mostly, not mostly, but based a lot on the enriched devices. Our first department is the mental department. Our team has developed special protocols to work with people during a psychotic episode and to get them to cooperate and come back home willingly. Our second department is the satellite department. It's my department, actually. What we do is we rent GARMIN inReach devices to clients, which are travelers, groups, travel guides, and also to companies. And that allows them to communicate, like Greg said, from anywhere around the globe. If it's regularly, to say everything is okay, or if it's in emergencies, to press the SOS button. Our third department is the Special Operations Department. They take care of different and special operations, special situations, like rescuing people from the war zone in Ukraine during the war that started this year. They also provide services to governments and to organizations. Our fourth department is the MAGNUS Safety for Business and Organizations. We actually provide memberships to companies that grants them the access to our operations desk and to our systems, and that allows them to manage, monitor, and communicate with their employees anywhere around the globe. We also supply them with contingency plans, intelligence reports, and location-based alerts that allow them to mitigate their risks. And our fifth and main department is our search and rescue department. We are actually the search and rescue providers for most Israeli insurance companies, which means that over 80% of Israelis traveling abroad are under our control center in case of an emergency. I will now explain the what we call the SOS journey. First of all, our control center is operational 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. We hire very specific people to that control center, and they undergo a long training process before they can start managing the search and rescue missions. The way we work is that we receive an emergency call in our control center, if it's via inReach device, via app, or via phone call. We analyze the situation, and we operate according to the situation at hand while maintaining contact with the traveler himself, herself, their insurance company, rescue personnel, and the Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Also, while doing all that, we maintain contact with the traveler's family and provide them with mental help and support during the search and rescue mission. So as I said before, we have over 1,000 search and rescue missions each year. So how do these operations actually happen? We have 4 different layers of safety that help us to operate. Our first layer is our headquarters. We have around 40 employees that are in our headquarters all the time, and that also includes our control center that is manned 24/7. The second layer is our on-call teams. They are built out of specialists that are all from the IDF Special Forces and the Israeli intelligence community. This ring consists of around 80 people that are doctors, ground search and rescue specialists, drone specialists, river specialists, and also we have people that speak a lot of languages so we can work with people from around the world. Our third ring is our volunteers. We have a special program that we train people with the right background before they go on their trip around the world, so they could assist us during search and rescue missions if they are already located close to that incident. And our fourth and last ring is our global network. We have a broad global network that consists of over 1,000 people around the whole world that we work with. These people are search and rescue teams, helicopter companies, travel guides, and even generals and government officials. These people are the ones that operate on real time during search and rescue missions. Now I want to show you a few examples. My first example is a mission that we had in Tajikistan in the Pamir Mountains. We had a group of 4 hikers that went for a lake trek from a town called Bahul, a hike that was supposed to take 3 days. The whole hike is at high altitude of around 4,000 meters, while the highest peak reaches to 4,600 meters. The group rented an InReach device from us ahead of time before they left for their trip. On the second day of their trip, they pressed the SOS button on their device because one of the hikers suffered from altitude sickness. After we received the call at our control center, we analyzed the situation and we understood immediately that we have to have a doctor communicate with the hiker so we could get better understanding of his medical condition. While the doctor spoke to the hiker via a satellite device, via the InReach device that he had, we understood that there is a need of an immediate rescue and it would probably be needed to be by helicopter. However, the terrain and the location of the hiker were very problematic and no helicopter could land near him. After we analyzed the terrain, we saw that the closest place a helicopter could land is 20 kilometers away from the hiker and also includes crossing a lake. Also, we saw that no matter where we tell this hiker to go, he's going to go higher than his current location, which puts him in danger even more. What we did is we established a local ground team that was sent to assist the hiker. The team got to the hiker after 2 days because of how far the trek was from any civilization. After they reached him, they started by giving him medical treatment, which included oxygen and first aid that they had with them and a paramedic that they had with them. And they began heading towards the lake on horses to make sure that the traveler is not going to be in any effort at all. On the lake shore, a boat already waited for them and took them towards the location where the helicopter landed. From there, he was taken with the helicopter, of course, to a local hospital for further treatment. This is where our SOS journey ends. The next example I'm going to give happened this last month in October. As part of my job, I flew to Nepal to meet with our local assets. And during my stay, a storm hit the country and a lot of travelers were stuck on treks due to that storm. Also, our control center saw that the storm was coming and sent alerts to travelers in Nepal, warning them of the storm. Sadly, some of the travelers did not have enough time to reach back to Kathmandu and Pokhara and were still stuck on the trails. One example is a village named Manang in the Annapurna circuit, where almost 200 Israeli travelers were stuck with no ways of communications, except a few lone travelers that had rented InReach devices, and one of our volunteers that also had an InReach device and was by accident in that village. We got all the information from our volunteer, and we understood that I need to go there to better understand the situation. So I flew together with one of our local contacts to that village so I could better understand the situation, estimate the severity, report back to our control center, and evacuate anyone in need. After 4 days in the village, we rescued all the Israelis from Manang. During that whole month, during all October, we had rescued over 300 travelers in all of Nepal. So again, thank you very much for listening, and thank you for GARMIN for giving me this opportunity to speak.